All right, we are all set. So, like I said, welcome. This is a new distributor training. We have so many new people that have joined this business in the last couple of weeks, and we know that more are coming. So, this is going to be a great reference for anybody else who joins our team in the future, too. But I just really wanted to get some of our top leaders together and really put on a great training for you guys so that you can get some practical tips and some inspiration as well. So I am just going to go ahead and start by introducing our first speaker. She's on perfect. Claire Flores. I also want to say, you guys, thanks, Stephanie. I also want to say, go ahead and utilize the group chat. If you're new on Zoom, the group chat is in the bottom there. You can click on it. If you've got questions while we're talking, feel free to, type them in there. This is an interactive training. Go ahead and ask questions as you have them there. If we go through something too quickly and you're like, hold on, what the heck does that mean? Ask in that chat and we'll make sure to grab that and help you out there. So I am going to go ahead and find Claire here to unmute her. All right, Claire, you're unmuted. Claire is going to talk to us tonight about something that she's an expert in talking about. Claire talks a lot and is somebody who trains our entire company actually on this concept of branding yourself on social media. And if you know anything about Claire, or if you've taken even one glance at her Facebook or Instagram, you know that this girl is the queen of posting. So she's going to talk about branding yourself on Instagram and how to post to attract new business partners and customers. So go ahead, Claire, take it away. And also, Claire, go ahead and share a little bit about your first month in the business. I didn't say that we were going to do that, but I would love for you to go ahead and share a little bit about the ups, the high and low of your first month in the business.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our team. We're seriously so excited that you've joined us, and we're excited to guide you along in your first month in the business. So my first month in the business was about 2.5 years ago. I got started at the end of July 2015, and I right away had a few highs. I had some victories right away. I took a couple of days to sort of absorb all of this new information about this new company. And I kind of went through and read everything that I could and learned everything that I could in the team pages. And then I just went crazy and did my first post 2 days into the business. And I had some quick wins where I had a lot of friends who were excited for me. They wanted to try a wrap. And I was excited about that. I remember making my first post and then my phone just started to blow up and I got so excited hearing those notifications going off, and it was like this, oh, I'm going to be able to do this. But then I had some quick lows too, because I had some friends who were not so nice about this new business that I had started, and they were really skeptical, and my family in particular was extremely skeptical. And I watched all these training videos that said, right away, go ahead and text your family and get your mom signed up and your sister signed up. And Katie was on my team from day one, and so she was telling me how her mom had signed up and her sister had signed up, and my mom and sister wanted nothing to do with it. And so I was kind of like, oh my gosh, my family's not supporting me, and that was really hard. But I want to say that if any of you are experiencing that or anything like that, where your friends and family are not crazy about what you're doing, don't worry about it, because I'm here, Presidential Diamond, without my friends and family having supported me in the beginning. And many of them went ahead and joined me once I started making six figures. So you just keep right on going and believe in the vision that's here and that it's possible for you, and your family will come around eventually. But as far as talking about social media and branding yourself on social media, I love that this is the very first thing we're talking about tonight, because this really sets your foundation for building your business. So we do work, a lot of us work mainly on social media. Some of you may want to work more through parties or more in person, and we can teach you how to do that too. But social media is an avenue that we all should be using regardless. And as far as branding yourself on social media, all that we mean by that is that you are not just it works. You didn't suddenly join this company and now you're like a walking billboard for it works. No, you're still you. You're still Ashley. You're still Bianca. You're still Teresa. You're still who you are. And we want to see that in the way that you're posting. And now that you're a business owner on social media, you want to make sure that you're being really professional with what you're putting out there on social media. You're not putting anything really negative. You're not just sharing a bunch of things, because that kind of messes with the Facebook algorithm. And you want to make sure that you're sharing really genuine content. So immediately, the first thing you want to do when you're branding yourself, regardless of what your brand kind of looks like, is you want to make sure that you have great pictures. An app that many of us use that you'll hear us talk about for iPhone is Pick Tap Go. If somebody can just type that in the chat so that it's there. Pick Tap Go is a great app. A lot of us use that to edit our pictures, and it just makes your pictures look bright and clear and nice. And it's going to keep people coming back to your page, especially on Instagram. You want eye-catching photographs that people are going to want to come back to. The next thing, when you're branding yourself, you really want to say, what do I stand for? Am I all about fitness? Am I all about faith? Am I all about family? Or am I really into food? And am I going to post about those things? Whatever you're passionate about, share those things, and then It Works will just tie right into those things. So if you're really passionate about family, you'll have a lot of posts about your family and things that you're doing with your kids, maybe fun crafts that you did with your kid that day. And then you'll mention, I had the freedom to do this because of my work from home business. So you're just kind of sliding the business and the products in very naturally. I don't want you to think of it as something that's segregated to where you're posting about your family and then an hour later you're posting and that post is all It Works. No, like everything should just sort of tie together. This should just become another part of your life that flows out of you. Another thing is write from your heart. Whenever you're writing about this business, don't write in a way that you think sounds like a commercial, like a great commercial for It Works. Write in a way that's just from your heart. Because even if you've been in the business for 5 minutes or 5 years, you have a story. You have a reason why you're here. You have this huge why that you decided to get extra money. Maybe it's to be home with your kids. Maybe it's to retire your husband like mine was. Or maybe it's to take a trip to Hawaii. Talk about that from day one. Say, I joined this business because I have some student loans that I've been trying to pay off. And I'm so excited that I finally have this avenue that I know I can work towards my goal. So really, really share that from your heart. You're going to want to post daily on social media, both Instagram and Facebook, at least once about the business and at least once about the products. And make sure you're utilizing stories as well as your page. You want to stay really positive, sharing your goals, what compelled you to join in that first announcement post. If you haven't done that yet, make sure you really put your heart into it. And then just choose your image filtered, like I mentioned with Pick Tap Go, and keep that consistent with all of your images. That's a basic overview because we want to keep tonight short. There's a lot more, but just get started with those really good pictures, writing from your heart, and start posting immediately about your business and start posting daily about your business. You want people to really take notice, and they're not going to see every post. And you might think, oh my gosh, if I post again today about the business, I'm going to annoy people. But the way Facebook is set up, they're not going to see every single one of those posts. So chances are they're going to see one of your posts out of the whole week about the business. So don't be afraid to be really consistent posting about your business.
I love that. Thank you so much, Claire. And you guys, just so you know, all of this information that we're telling you tonight, we have longer, more exhaustive trainings on each of these topics. Claire has done a really good job of archiving our team's trainings in her YouTube page. So if you search Claire Flores on YouTube, you'll be able to come up with a lot of trainings that go into more detail about everything we're talking about tonight. So if you want more information, check that out. All right, the next person that we're going to hear from is Katie Rogers. Katie is an incredible leader on our team, somebody that I look up to in many, many ways of the business. Katie, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. And Katie's going to share with us tonight about how to grow your network, which, like Claire was talking about with posting and branding yourself, if you don't have a network to post to and a network to show your brand to, none of that matters. So this is very important. I hope you guys are taking notes. Go ahead and take it away, Katie. Start with your high and low of your first month of the business.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to talk to you tonight. So I've been in this business now for almost 3 years in July. I guess the high of my business when I started was actually signing a loyal customer. I honestly, when I started this business, I did not think that I would ever sign a loyal customer. I didn't think I would ever have anybody join me. And so just getting a win, even though it was my mom, I signed my first loyal customer. So just look for the little wins, okay? And hang on to those, because if you can sign one loyal customer, even if it is your mom, you can sign another loyal customer, okay? And then the low of my business was I actually got a really not so nice message from a family friend about why social media businesses were annoying. And it was really, really, really hard for me to kind of move past that. But you guys, if I had let let that control me, I wouldn't be retired. I wouldn't be with my kids every day, and I would not be making, six figures from this business. So that is that. I'm going to talk to you guys, like Sarah said, a little bit about growing your network first. Growing your network is one of the most important things that you will do in this business daily, because people need to see your stuff. People need to see you, and you need to get in front of new people. So growing your network, really, Instagram and Facebook, daily. Make sure that you are doing that daily. Facebook, like 10 to 20 people a day. Instagram, I usually tell people like 10 to 20 every couple of hours. But what are your interests? Okay, so you need to figure out what interests you and go find people with similar interests. It is so much easier to talk to people about things that you already have a commonality with. So Facebook groups, mom groups, if you're a mom, stay away from the negative ones, makeup groups, dog groups, and whatever you are interested in, find some people in there. Start, just reaching out in those groups, find some friends, add them so they can just start to watch you. In the beginning, I did a lot of friends of friends and friends of my family. So I went through, my mom and my dad's friends on Facebook, my sister's friends on Facebook, people from high school, their friends, just people that I had a lot of friends in common with already. So they were more apt, I guess, to accept my friend request. Friends of your loyals, friends of your loyal customers, and friends of your potential loyal customers. If somebody's interested in your product or has already bought product from you, chances are they're going to have friends that are interested in the same thing. And then somebody with cute friends, you guys. When I started, my sister was, she was recently out of college and had all these cute college friends. Added them all, okay? Because, cute girls are so fun. Find some cute friends who are positive and happy, and there you go. Next, I want to talk to you about what your daily kind of power hour should be. Okay. When I started this business, I was working full time. I didn't have time for this business. I worked this in about an hour a day. I did the same thing every single day, no matter what. And I still do that same thing now that I'm, retired and I do this full time. But I do many of them a day. So I kind of wrote out the 6 things that I think are the most important for your business. I don't know, Sarah, if you want to write them in the chat, and if you guys are taking notes, write them down. The number one thing that you should be doing every single day is self-development. That is the most important thing about this business. It is all mindset. You will not get anywhere without self-development. This business is self-development with a paycheck. So find a good book, find a good sermon, find a good podcast, and get it in your brain every single day. Number 2 is messaging, reaching out to people. Just because you're posting does not mean you're asking people, and actually getting in people's inboxes or calling them on their phone or texting them or getting out and talk to people even. It doesn't have to be messaging. Get out and talk to people about this business and ask them to try products for you. You can't just expect people to just, come crawling to you from your posts. It's amazing if they do, but you want to be reaching out to people. Third, add to your network. We just talked about that. Super important, so I won't go into detail about that. Number 4, interact with people. Social media, it was meant, for you to be interacting with people and seeing people's lives, and them seeing your life. So get on and talk to people. If you see somebody that's wearing a super cute outfit, tell them that. If somebody's hair looks cute, tell them that. If somebody's kids are adorable, tell them that. Just get on and start just talking with people. If you show interest in other people's lives, they'll show interest in yours. Number 5, follow-ups. Make sure every single day, and this gets harder and harder as you go on and you're talking to more and more people, because in the beginning you're like, well, I'll remember that I talked to her. No, you will not. People will slip through the cracks. Every single day at the start of the day, I generally go back through my messages and see if I left, any conversations left off, and I write them down, whether that be in a planner, a notebook, your phone, whatever you want to do with that. Make sure that you're writing people down and you're following up with people daily. And then number 6, Make sure that you are posting. And if it's hard for you to post, like you have, a full-time job or whatnot, sit down and take a couple minutes at night and think about what you want to post about tomorrow. Think about what products you're going to be, talking about. Think about what your day is going to look like and where you can slide posts in. But just make it, simple for yourself. These are your 6 non-negotiables every single day, whether it be you wake up early, stay up late, slide it in, 10 minutes here or there during your day, it can be done.
Yes, it can. You guys, I don't know if you caught that, but Katie worked full-time in her business until she had tripled her income from her full-time job. And Katie was a hairstylist, but not just like any hairstylist. Katie is like the most baller hairstylist I know because she does my hair. And she was like a top stylist in her high-end salon. So she wasn't making just a little bit of money. And she worked this business in an hour a day until she got to come home to her girls. So that list that she just said was exactly what she did every day to do that. So that list is simple, like everything else in this business is, but it is super important that you just take a look at that, especially if you're somebody who wants to fit in 1 hour's work of day and 1 hour's worth of work a day and make it as worth it as it can be. That's your list. That's what you're going to want to do every day. Okay, Lindsay, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Lindsay is an up and coming leader in our team. She's an incredible enroller. She is a hustler, a single mama of the cutest little girl, Ivy. And I am so excited to hear from her tonight about how to have a successful, loyal customer conversation and how to have successful distributor conversations. You'll be surprised at how similar each conversation that you have with potentials are. And Lindsay's here to kind of just walk us through what those look like. So Lindsay, go ahead and just start with telling us your high and low of the first month of your business, and then go ahead with your training from there.
Hey guys, so I'm Lindsay, and so I will share with you my high. My high when I went in this business is I was already stalking, Sarah and Claire. So not only did I already see how the best was the best, I was able to get a lot of tips from that. So my high was definitely, I went executive my first month. Actually, I went executive, I think like 2 weeks into the business. So that was definitely a high. In signing a distributor who is interested in It Works, and she came to me. So I think that was just a really great feeling to know that, okay, people might be interested in this business, but it might take you doing it first for them to get started in it. So I really loved that. My low was definitely figuring out how to do this business as a single mom. Like they say, it takes a lot of discipline, not really discipline, but the mental came. I'm not super good at, reading the books and doing all that. So I try to get it elsewhere, but you really do have to focus. And if you're not focusing in the right direction right away, I would just say, get that discipline, because that is your rule number 1. So I am super excited to talk about this because in the beginning, it was something I was really good at too. But as soon as I learned the strategics of this and just kept it very consistent, that's when I learned how to be the best. I'm going to just find my face so I don't get distracted because I get a little nervous on this. Okay, so my conversations are the same, whether it's my mom, whether it's my grandma, a stranger, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to keep my wording exactly the same because when you do start out, like Katie said, your conversations seem really simple, but you want to get it at an expert level that when you're in so much conversation that you're sticking kind of to the same points. So how my conversation looks is I will, whether it started as me, cold messaging them, if they're on my Facebook and they're interested in a product, I'm going to start that first. When they're on your timeline, if someone comments on your status and they're like, oh, I'm interested, or I have a question about this, right away you want to say, I'm going to message you. You want to keep conversations off your thread for a couple of reasons. One, it looks cleaner not to have everybody talking, because when you start talking, people think it's cute to, chime their little 2 cents in. It's not cute. You create everyone fighting. But then you're also creating opportunity for other people who would maybe ask you the same question to also get in your inbox too, or that you can at least start a conversation with them. So right away, what I didn't do when I started this business was create your list. Now I talk to Siri on my phone. I'm like, Siri, save this, or Siri, remind me to message this person on Friday. But to keep it simpler, just copy and paste their name when you're messaging them, put it in your notes. I know this is kind of scatterbrained, but then you're not going to lose that potential. So I create a potentials list. I create a potential distributor list for loyal customers and distributors. So then what I'm about to message them, I'm like, hey girl, I saw that you were interested in the cleanse, or if they already like, oh, I want this. So I'll message them. I'll be like, the cleanse hey girl, the cleanse retails for $60, but it's only $36 for my 90-day product models. Would you be interested in one of the spots? That way they're going to be like, oh, okay, like, well, what is the 90-day product model? So what I did there was I didn't waste any conversation with being like, oh, hey girl, it's $60 today, but you can get it for $36. Well, how can I get it for $36? Well, when you sign up as a loyal customer, and then, you just eliminate some stuff. So I eliminate it there. And then I just say, basically, you're going to order one product today. So if it's a cleanse, try one product in May and one product in June. And then you could stop it there, but I do go into detail because the next question is, what if I don't like that product? Then I'm like, well, you could continue to order the same product, or it could be or it could be a different product. We have 40 products as low as $15. Send. They're like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing, or maybe they don't. If they go in the direction of that sounds great, I'm just like, yay, I'm so excited for you. Like, here, I would love to place your order for you. And then I'll send the script of the information we need. If you guys don't know like the full depth of it, we could post it in the chat. But basically it's like, I need your name, your email, your address, blah, blah. And then I always emphasize, but I do not need the last 3 digits on the back of your card. That way I can keep your information safe. So in the beginning, I was always like, oh my gosh, no one's going to give me their information. Guys, everybody gives you their information. I have distributors giving me their social security number, because if you don't make it weird, it's not weird. So then I seal the deal and I order it for them. The way of me placing the order is they didn't try to go on my website. It didn't scare them. Guys, I was that girl who went on the website 2 times and I got scared and I didn't do it. The website is overwhelming. So by you doing that, you're placing the order, sealing the deal. Now, if they're just like, oh, like, I'm going to look at your website, or I'm going to just glance on it, then you're like, okay, well, like, maybe you'll just like leave it there for a second. So then you follow up and you're like, hey girl, did you find something that you were interested in? This might be where they start blanking you, and that's fine. So then that's a follow-up Friday. Well, the reason I have been so successful is I do follow up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm just like, hey girl, like, I'm super excited that you're interested in the cleanse. Do you still want to place your order? That doesn't work. Okay, then I'll be like a couple days later. At the end of the day, if they're not saying no, or if they're not unfriending you, the availability is still there. And that's something I learned from Katie. Katie Rogers has been in this business for how long, and she's still signing a customer every single day. Why? Because she's always in someone's inbox, and that's something I've always respected. So if you're like, oh, why am I not sending a customer? How many inboxes are you in a day? So then follow-ups, to get a little bit more in detail on follow-ups, another one I do on a follow-up Friday, maybe a week later, I go, hey, Trisha, I'm placing some orders and I would love to get your orders placed. Would you like to receive that discount? Are you ready? Normally they respond. If they don't respond, this has been another message that's worked for me. Hey girl, did I do something to upset you? Like, why are you ignoring me? Then they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Because guys, people honestly just avoid you because they don't want to be like, I can't pay it right now. And they're like, did I upset you? And they're like, no, like, I really want to do it, but I can't do it until I get paid next Thursday. Great, let's set that up. I will message you next Thursday with your spot. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Now, another way you can do it, if people aren't following up and they say, yes, I am interested, but that's where you can be like, well, let's set a time for you to, like, let's set a time to follow up. When would you like me to reach out to you? That would like is kind of scary, so you have to be careful with that because the urgency is what is really good in this business. So I think I covered it on loyal customers. Okay, so to go to distributors. So distributors is very scary because, like most of us when we started, it took us a while. We watched the people we wanted to join for a good amount of time. But if you don't try, you're not creating the starting point of getting people who are interested. So for distributors, I did, in the beginning, I just followed people or comment on people. Like Katie said, if you love their outfit, if you like this, if you like that, just start engaging in conversation. Because when you do show up in someone's inbox, it's not going to be weird and they're not going to be rude about it. So for me, I often, like my market's single moms. I'm interested in that because I'm really relatable and that's a story I can share. So I'm often being like, oh my gosh, like your daughter is so beautiful. Like your social media is just amazing. I think you'd really kill it at what I do. There's a conversation. I've had a pretty lengthier conversation and I can read this out to you. I sent it. I don't know if I sent this one. I can attach it to. I'm working just from my phone, not my computer. So it's just like, hey girl, I've seen your posts and I just want to tell you that I think you'd be really good at what I do. You have a huge social media following. That's interesting to some people sometimes because they realize they can like market that. I think you would excel at what I do. I'm building a team for April of ladies and I would love to mentor you. And then if you're the type of person that you feel like you need to put a little bit more out there for this person, I just say, you know, it's an amazing way to make an extra source of income and to help lives around you. I was like, this business has changed my life and I'd love to offer the opportunity to you. Have you ever thought about making an additional $500 from your phone? So you can keep it simple. You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, do you want to be a millionaire someday? Like that sounds amazing, but that's probably not what's gonna, seal your deal. So what's gonna seal your deal is being relatable. So I'm often active of like who is interested in making some money. So I'm often posting about that. I'm messaging people, following up with people. Really, I feel like I had more distributor things, but I don't have them right now. But yeah, just following up. But yeah, keep it short and simple. As if it's just something like, hey girl, I love your profile. I think you'd be amazing at what I do. Would you be interested in this? Is basically how we all started.
I love that. Lindsay, thank you so much. We're going to put in all of Lindsay's really good wording into the comments of the post on Facebook. In the chat here, we can see it live right now, but for the recording, people are not going to be able to see the chat. So we're definitely going to make sure to go ahead and put that in the Facebook comments, which is awesome. But thank you so much, Lindsay. I think you guys, the thing, and I'm a little bit different than these girls because I didn't sign my first personally enrolled distributor until I want to say like 33 or 35 days into my business. So everybody's story is different. Maybe somebody who's an ambassador diamond now, I know for a fact actually that some of our top income earners didn't sign a distributor for months. And the reality is that enrolling distributors takes a few different things. It takes consistency. Consistency is comfortable. Remember that as you're interacting with people, consistency is gonna be what makes them comfortable in joining you because they've seen 100 girls just like you start a business just like this, do it for 3 weeks and then be done. And nobody wants to go into business with the fear of, oh my gosh, this person that's supposed to be training me and leading me in this business is gonna leave me out to dry in 3 weeks when she's over it. So you have to be consistent. And then I always tell people that I want to hear all about you and I want you to tell me all about your life and all about what you love and all about your goals. And then tell you why I think that this business is going to help you reach those goals and tell you all about why I think this business is perfect for you. And then we just go in to what questions do you have for me? And that's the entire distributor conversation right there. Either they reach out to me or I reach out to them. I ask them about themselves, tell them about myself, and then I answer their questions. And I answer their questions until either they go silent and I follow up with them or until they enroll. And that's it. Simple, simple, simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, so I just wanted to end. Go ahead and type questions. I haven't seen any come through yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and just wrap this up here. But I would love to see some questions in the comments if you guys can think of any. I know we've gone through this really quickly, so even if your brain is just like spinning right now and you're like, I'm sure I have questions, but I can't think of any, feel free to message any of us tonight. Message your enroller tonight if you think of them tomorrow, whatever. Go ahead and feel free to do that. But if you can think of some right now, go ahead and type them in the comments and we'll get to those before we end. But I wanted to talk about, I can share my high and low for my first month of the business. And then I want to tell you about why I decided to include that in this training tonight. A high of my first month in the business is really similar to Katie. I signed some customers, you guys. That was amazing. I remember sitting there about to make my very first post. And I remember sitting in my living room. I was on my couch and I had my post all written out. I was so proud of it. I was so, I thought it was written out really well. And I posted it and basically was like shaking. And I'm not an anxious person, but that freaked me out. I probably had hives. I was definitely sweating. And I was thinking, everybody's going to know that I failed. Everybody's going to know because I just told everybody that I started this business. And in however many months from now or weeks from now, when I fail at this, they're all going to know. And I'm so embarrassed already. So I would say that my low of my first month of the business, honestly, was my own head. I had signed some customers, but I would go a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 without signing any customers. And like I said, I didn't sign a distributor for my first over a month. So I was constantly in this battle of, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to Ruby. I'm going to make that $500 a month. This is going to change my family's life. To all of a sudden, it could be an hour later. And my mind would be like, Sarah, what are you doing? Like, you can't do this. Are you kidding me? $500 a month? What are you thinking? And my brain was just all over the place, up and down, up and down, up and down. And the reason I wanted to share that with you guys is because, and as you were listening to the other girls share about their high and low in the business, you're going to experience highs and lows, not just in the first month of your business, but all the way throughout. I've been in this business for 2.5 years, and I'm still experiencing highs and lows of this business. But that is what makes this business more incredible than just a paycheck. It's what makes this more incredible than just the friendships, more incredible than just the freedom. You can talk to anybody who's been in this for longer than a few months, and they'll be able to tell you the growth that has happened in them personally far outweighs any amount of money that they've made. The fact that I can make a post now and know that some people might not be super interested in it, but I don't care because I know that somebody is going to be interested in it. That keeps me going. I can know that I can have a terrible month, not even a day or a terrible week in my business, but I can have a terrible month in my business. But that's just me planting seeds. And I know that I'm going to harvest them later because I've been there. So in your first month, 2 months, maybe 3 months, it's a lot of head spinning. It's a lot of learning. I always tell people that you're going to learn something new every single day. And multiple things new every single day. I still learn something new every day. Katie just asked a question today that neither Claire or I knew the answer to. So this is like something we're always all learning. But the reality is that if you need to know something, you'll learn it. So don't think like, oh my gosh, they're talking about this stuff and I don't even know what they're talking about. It's okay. You'll learn it whenever you need to learn it. Just take these simple steps forward every single day and it's going to come. And remember that you're going to have hard times in this business, but it's okay. It is okay. That's what's going to grow you as a business owner. It's what's going to give you a story to be able to encourage other people that come into your business. If you just have smooth sailing all the way through, how is that relatable? You're going to get somebody that's coming in and they're like, oh my gosh, my family thinks I'm stupid. My husband thinks this is a scam. My kids are going crazy because I'm on my phone more than normal. And you're going to be able to say, hey, I've been there. I totally know how that is. And let me tell you why it's worth it. So know that that's coming, be prepared for it. And I was going to talk about kind of self-development and knowing what to expect. Self-development is so important. Katie Rogers touched on this a little bit because it keeps your mind safe. Even if you're not a Christian, this applies to you. In the Bible, God tells us to take every thought captive. So those thoughts that I had when I was making a post, those thoughts that I had when I didn't sign a loyal customer for a few days or weeks or whatever, those thoughts that I had of, oh my gosh, you're a failure, you're never going to do this, this is going to be you're going to lose money, you're going to ruin your family's life, all these thoughts that I had, everybody's going to know that you failed. I had to take those captive and I had to say, not today. We're not thinking that today. What I'm going to focus on is I'm going to focus on why this business is going to change my life. I'm going to go watch a training and watch somebody else talk about the amazing things that has happened for their family because they took that step of faith in this business. There's a quote out there by somebody famous. If somebody knows, you can type it in the comments. But it's, don't ever dig up in fear what you planted in faith. You planted this seed of this business in faith. You took that step. You joined this business. You said, I think I can do this. I think this is going to do something for my family. I'm going to work at it. I'm going to try and I'm going to see what happens. Don't dig that up in fear. It will never have an opportunity to grow if you dig it up in fear. Take that fear, hold it captive, push it out of your brain, and fill your brain with something good. Fill it with the training. Fill it with self-development. Fill it with a sermon. Know that you're in this business for a reason. Thank you, Claire. Elizabeth Elliott was the one who said that. Know that you're in this business for a reason, and that if God put you here, he has a plan to sustain your business. So I think that's all I have. Claire, Katie, Lindsay, did you guys have anything else that you wanted to add, or did I get all those questions? I'm just going to unmute all three of you in case you do, because I can't see you because I'm on view. If you don't have any questions, you can remute yourself. Okay, Lindsay, I'm finding you. Hold on. There's a lot of people on. Okay, found you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. No, of course, I always have something to say. No, I really wanted to say something just because I'm the last, up and comer of this group right here. But it's a great story to share because it wouldn't be my story. So I just wanted to just put in there. So like they always say, just stick with it. Really, guys, just stick with it because, oh my goodness, I almost gave up, and I almost gave up really hard. So in October, I signed, I think, 3 or 4 customers, because I was like, just trying to fill out those steps to success, being lazy as heck, not pushing myself, not in conversation. And Mark Pankos came out with Christmas cash, and I was like, oh, I want some extra cash. Says I signed 30 customers the next month. Who does that? So my thing is there are times where I was going to quit this business. I even texted Sarah. I was like, Sarah, I got to find a full-time job. She's like, Lindsay, I'm going to kill you. What are you doing? Guys, if I would have quit, I wouldn't have gotten my first comma in my paycheck. I would have not gotten a $5,000 bonus. The thing is we're here because we've seen the money. So just stick with it because it is there. It might not be your first 6 months. It might take a year. Gosh, if someone said, your first year, you're going to be making $1,000 a month, but your third year, you're going to be making $15,000 a month. What is it worth to you? So just stay there, stay consistent because it is there. And everybody on the top, there's nothing greater besides their work ethic, their consistency, their self-development, their posts, their growing. That's the only thing they have. If you're doing that, you can be there. And that's what I saw in this business, and that's where I'm going. It's like, okay, if they have all these same resources as me, I'm going to get there too. I'm going to be at the top. I'm going to be on the stage. It doesn't matter if I was barely making it to conference this year. Guys, I booked my ticket 2 weeks before I went to conference. I went from being paid executive to diamond. I am diamond this month, 3 months. It's all a mental game. You can do it. You just have to decide to go for it and don't stop.
Go ahead, Lindsay. You preach that. I love it. You guys, it's so true. Everything she just said. I hope that fires you up. I hope that you got some tips tonight that are really practical and stuff that you can apply to your business starting tonight. And I hope you got some inspiration and some fire in your belly to keep you going, to talk to 1 more person tonight, to talk to 2 more people tonight. Share this opportunity, share about the products. This business changes lives, and these products make people look and feel their best. You have your hands on gold. It's up to you what you want to do with it. So thank you guys so much for getting on tonight. Thank you, Claire, Katie, Lindsay, for sharing your wisdom with us. Like I said, if you guys have questions, message your upline. That's what we're here for. Stay connected to your team, ask questions, be involved, look at the team page. Those are all resources for you that are going to help you succeed in this. When it comes down to it, keep it simple. Keep it really simple. Be yourself. All right, we're going to sign off. Thank you guys for being on.